close by. And we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. And if you prefer to have a block under your sitting bones or a blanket under your sitting bones to be in this position, we are going to start with some breathing, some meditation. So finding a comfortable position where you can rest with your sit bones either connected to the ground or blanket or block, and your shoulders resting above your hips. Resting with your hands somewhere on your thighs, where your elbows hang below your shoulders. And just taking a moment to allow your mind and your body to transition into this space and time, into the present moment. Beginning to find yourself in the present moment by just allowing your awareness of your surroundings. So perhaps finding any sounds, around you. And feeling the parts of your body that connect to the earth, feeling the density of the ground beneath you. And that edge of yourself that separates your body from that which is not your body. And as you start to sense that awareness, can you allow those lines to blur? Feeling perhaps that the edges of yourself move beyond the ground beneath you. Or perhaps sensing the ground moving beyond the edges of your body. And beginning to sense the edges of your body that are connected to the air around you. Maybe sensing if there are different temperatures, or maybe feeling a light breeze on one side of your body that's different than the other. Where the clothes touch your skin. And again, can you allow those edges to begin to blur? Feeling a sense of yourself moving beyond the edges of your skin. Maybe feeling the energy of the air that surrounds you permeating within the edges of your skin. And shift your awareness to your breath, sensing first the movement of the breath in and out through the nostrils. Noticing as you shift your awareness to your breath, what happens to your breath. And can you allow that awareness of that blurring as you feel the air enter and exit the nose? How would you alter your breathing to barely be able to sense the movement in and out through your nose? And begin to imagine that instead of the air entering in and out through the nose, that as you inhale, the air around you permeates every cell, every inch of your body, lightly feeling the sense of lift throughout every part of your skin and the cells beneath your skin with each inhalation. A soft release of the entire body each time the exhale releases the prana, the air. And can you come to a point of where you feel this blur again? Knowing that prana enters and exits throughout every cell of your body. But it is light and soft. And keeping your eyes closed on your next exhalation, gently drop your chin towards your chest. Maybe lightly moving your head side to side, just sensing tension on either side of the back of your neck. And can you bring the awareness of your mind and your breath moving into those spaces where you're holding more tension? As if the prana, the energy, is permeating those regions. And then as you exhale, let it go. Interlace your fingers and take the hands, resting them, if you were to have a ponytail in your head, about the region of your head right below your hands would be under your ponytail. And begin to lengthen your exhales, keeping them light, slow. Allowing the inhalations to become a natural response to your exhale. Release the hands. And slowly stack one vertebrae on top as you bring your head back to center. And drop your head, your right ear towards your right shoulder. And sensing with each inhalation, the breath permeating deep into the cells, deep into the muscles. Having awareness of the mind and the breath. Move into the spaces where you feel it needs to go. And take your right hand, place the fingertips right above your right ear, and just allow the heaviness of your right hand to create a little bit more length on the left side of your neck. Reach your left fingers out towards the left side of your mat. Maybe the fingers graze the floor, maybe they rest right above the floor. Now moving awareness to the exhale, keeping it light so you can barely sense the release of the breath throughout the nose. Keeping it long and slow. Allowing here the inhalation to just be a natural response and reaction to your exhale. Release the right hand back to the ground. Drop the chin towards the throat, roll the head back through center, and then stack the vertebrae one on top of the other. Just taking a few breaths here before we go to the other side. And then drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And starting by bringing awareness of the inhalations, moving into the spaces where you first sense tension. And bring your right hand, placing the fingertips right above your ear. You're not pulling as much as just adding a sense of gravity, a sense of heaviness. And start to reach your right fingertips over towards the right side of your mat. Maybe fingers touch the floor, maybe they just hover above the floor. And now shifting awareness to your exhales, keeping them light, long, and slow. Maybe even feeling a natural pause at the end of your exhalation. And not even thinking about what is the inhale like, just allowing it to naturally happen as a response to your exhale. Release the right and left hand back down to the floor. Drop the chin towards the chest as you roll the head back to center. Touch the fingertips to the floor. Stack the vertebrae on top. And then drop the chin towards the chest. Roll the ear over to the right. Let the crown of the head go back and roll it over to the left. So just allowing natural circles of your neck. Kind of sensing where it moves with ease. Noticing the response of your breath. And what would happen if you started to draw circles with your nose? So continuing the same circles, but letting your nose be the awareness of where they come from. Switch directions. Notice what happens when the mind goes away from making the circles with the nose and then bringing it back. Take the head back to center and then stack it. Take your belt or strap and come up onto your knees. If it is more comfortable to rest with a block between your heels and sitting back on your heels, you can opt for that. Or you can just sit with your hips on your heels. Take the belt out in front of you, holding the hands wider than shoulder width apart. Wrists are in line with your forearms, so not fist down or fist up, but in line with your forearms. Create a gentle tautness of the belt and start to bring the belt over your head and down. Just allow yourself to move. Maybe you time it with your breath. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just feel what you feel. The neck and the shoulders are so intimately linked. Many of the muscles that move the shoulder blades actually attach into the neck, and oftentimes can be the source of neck pain. And so as we move through what we're doing today, we're kind of paying attention to both the neck and the shoulders. As the shoulders start to open it, maybe you take the belt all the way back, touch the back of your hips, and bring it back up and through. You may notice that you have to open up on your belt a little bit more. So if that has to happen, by all means, to get that rotation. So start to sense your shoulder blades. Feel what they're doing as you rotate up and down. And we're not trying to think about keeping our shoulders down our back the whole time. In fact, as you bring the arms up, allow the shoulder blades to lift up towards your ears to get that full movement of the shoulder blades. And notice if that changes, if you actually allow that and encourage more mobility of the shoulder blades moving up and around. The next time you come up, stay up. Keep pulling the belt taut, maybe taking it a slight nudge in closer. Keep your ribs down and in, and bring the elbows back toward and down towards your hips. Press it up. And as you press up, allow the shoulder blades to lift up. And you'll notice that as you lift the shoulder blades, it's more the outer edges of your shoulder blades. So as if the outer edges of your shoulder blades could extend to your pinky edges. And the next time you lift up, stay up. Bend your left elbow, taking the belt behind your head. Right arm stays straight, and you're going to lean to the right and use your hand to hold your belt down. You may need to slide up on your belt, or you may be able to just straighten the left arm over to the side. So as if you're punching over towards the right edge of your mat. You want to move to where your elbow could be straight. So if you need to come up further on your belt, do so. Keep pressing the right hand down. Now start to slide the shoulder blade down your back, the right shoulder blade down your back. Start to pull the left hand back as you rotate the head and the chest up towards the sky. And then keep the belt taut as you roll the chest and the head towards the floor. Keep pulling the belt as you take the left hand down towards the floor. When the left knuckle hits the floor, pull the belt a little bit more. And keep pressing down through the right hand as you lift the left arm up, roll open, head, chest comes back up towards the sky. Right shoulder blades drawing down the back, left shoulder blades drawing in towards the spine, and reaching towards the pinky edges of your hand. Notice what happens to your breath in this position. Turn the head down towards the floor, then rotate. Keep pulling the belt taut as you take your left hand as far forward. Keeping the belt taut, rest the knuckle on the floor, and breathe. One more time, open, keep pulling the belt taut. Rotate head, heart underneath your left arm as you take your left arm as far back and as far over to the right as you can. Notice where you need to send the breath to keep it low, slow, and light. Turn your head towards the floor. Rotate left arm forward, keeping the belt taut. Bring the knuckles to the floor. Pull the belt apart. Lift left arm back up. Bend the left elbow, bringing the belt behind the head, and bring both arms up. Do a few rounds of taking it up and over. And just notice any changes or what you feel. And the next time you come up, stay up. Maybe taking the hands a little closer together. Bend the elbows, take the belt behind your head. Press the arms up. One more time, bend the elbows, take the elbows towards your hips, keeping your chest high. Straighten the elbows. Keep your left arm straight, bend your left elbow. And then start to lean to the left, using your left hand to secure the belt down. Maybe you come up higher on the belt, start to punch the fist over to the left as you straighten the elbow. Rotate left shoulder blade down the back. Rotate your head and heart open to the right as you take the right hand further behind you. Breathe. Notice those spaces where a little bit more awareness of the inhalation into places of tension and gripping. And then noticing your slow, long, light Exhale. Keep pressing the hand into the belt on the floor. Turn your head, look down to the left. Stretch your belt tight as you reach your right hand as far forward and as far over to the left as you can. Breathe. Press down through your left hand. Keep your elbows straight as you rotate back open and take right hand further behind you. Left shoulder blade down your back. Breathe. I'm always amazed at how different my right and left sides are. What I always think is my more challenging side. When I come into positions like this, I learn the exact opposite of what I thought. Turn your head down to the left. Keep pulling the belt taut as you take right arm out to the left and down towards the floor. Keep just a slight amount of tension on your belt so that you feel that stretch in your shoulder and your side body, maybe even in the neck. And then rotate open one last time. Notice if things are changing. And last time, down towards the floor. Open up. And then bend your right elbow, taking your hand behind your head. Pull both arms up and over. One last time. Experiment with rotation. Drop the belt. Come onto hands and knees. And just start to move through cat and cow as you would without any awareness. So whatever your kind of normal, natural cat-cow would be. Noticing, do you move the body first or does the breath move first? Notice if you feel more of the movement in your spine or your hips or your shoulders. Like, where do you feel the movement kind of begin? Where are you more aware? Then come into a neutral spine. And if at any time your wrists have a little bit too much weight, you can come down onto your elbows. So just keep that in mind. So press down through your hands, spreading your finger as wide as you can, wrist creases in line with the top edge of your mat. Press down through the hands, allowing the shoulder blades to kind of glide on the outside of your rib cage. Just start to move your head. So cat-cow just in your neck. So taking chin towards chest and then crown of the head towards the sky. And then allow that to start to come into your mid-spine as well. So as you lift your head, your mid-spine kind of collapses towards the floor. And as you drop your head, your mid-spine or your upper back rounds. And as you start to create that awareness of your mid-spine and neck moving together, notice what happens to your shoulder blades. And then start to take the awareness more into the shoulder blades. So as you lift your head, shoulder blades draw down your back and towards your spine. And as you drop your head, shoulder blades round up towards your ears and move more on the outside of your rib cage. So just noticing as you bring more awareness of shoulder blade movement, can you create more movement in your spine? And as you take more movement into the shoulder blades, does your neck still move? And come back, sit on your heels, just rest with your arms hanging down, fingertips grazing the floor. And then come down onto your belly. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, palms spread to the floor. Roll your shoulder blades up towards your ears, take them down your back, and then forward and up. So rolling the shoulder blades in one direction. And then switch directions. And lift up into more of a neutral position. So elbows press down, chest lifts up towards your chin, lower ribs in. Keep your elbows underneath your shoulders. Bend your left knee and tap your left foot towards the right side of your mat. And it may not reach. Roll back onto your belly. Bend your right knee and reach right foot over towards the left edge of your mat. Maybe taking the elbows just slightly forward and go side to side. So trying to keep both elbows on the floor as you rotate from your spine side to side. As you go side to side, does that foot come closer to touching the floor? Come to center, stack your hands, rest your forehead on the floor, and just gently rock your hips side to side.
What does it mean? What's it mean if my foot didn't touch the floor? And what does it mean if it was harder when you told us to actually push the elbows away?
So my feet didn't touch the floor until the very end. It is kind of dealing with where your lats and your lower trap attached to the bottom of the thoracic spine, kind of where the bottom of your rib cage is. So it's kind of a way to address that region of the spine and just to see that connection between both the upper traps and the lats are shoulder muscles. So your foot may never touch the ground. Mine didn't until maybe the last 2 rounds. So it doesn't mean anything other than it may never, or it may, and not to worry too much if it doesn't, but the lats and the upper traps are kind of what we were going for as far as loosening those regions up. So on to the next scorpion. This time, bring your arms out to the side, T to the body. So each of these are going to kind of work on a different region of the neck and shoulders. Palms face down, bend your right knee, slide your right hand towards your right shoulder, and now reach your right foot towards the left edge of your mat. You can walk your right hand towards your right shoulder and reach it back and over towards your left hand. Bring the hand back down to the floor, slide it out to the right, Lower your hips back down to the floor, straighten your right leg. Bend your left knee. Reach your left hand up towards your left shoulder. Reach your left foot over to the right edge of the mat. Take your left hand off the floor. Reach left hand towards right hand. Rotate back, slide right hand down, let the hips come back. And begin to go side to side with this. Kind of experimenting and noticing where you're feeling this one. So it's a different region of the spine. It's a different region of the body. Still incorporating twist and spine as a way to access shoulders and neck. And one more time to each side. And come back to center. Stack your hands, stack your forehead on your hands, and let your hips move side to side. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, press up to hands and knees. Lift your left foot, take it to the right side of your mat, drop the foot and reach left arm up and over. Bring the left hand back down, knees to the floor. Reach right foot up and over. As you open, come onto your left hand, reach right arm up and over. Bring the hand back down, knees to the floor. Lift the leg first, take it over to the side. So now we're asking the shoulder to bear the weight as we go into side to side twist of the spine, full spine with stability in that grounded arm. Movement happening from the mid-spine up. Compared to the last time where we felt more of that opening across the chest. One more to each side. Bring both knees to the floor, toes touch, sit the hips back towards the heels, forehead to the floor, resting in child's pose. And start to stretch the arms forward to the front edge of your mat, walking the fingers forward, feeling the side body stretch as you pull your hips towards your heels. And shift forward onto hands and knees. Keep your knees or your hips above your heels. Come up onto your fingertips and start to walk the fingers out and forward as you take first your forehead to the floor. Walk your fingers a little further forward. Stretching your hips back towards your heels, but still keeping your knees above your hips. Press your fingertips into the floor, and as if you were twisting, your fingers open. So rotating kind of thumbs and pinkies towards your feet. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Grab your belt. and come back down onto your belly. So resting with your forehead onto the floor, toes point back. Stretch your arms forward, and as we did when we were bringing the belt up and over our head, hands are wider than shoulder width apart. Start to pull your belt taut, keeping your forehead on the floor. Lift the arms off the floor. Feel the shoulder blades move towards the spine as you lift your arms as high up towards the sky as you can. Keep pulling the belt taut. As you bend your elbows, lift your head and chest off the floor, taking your elbows towards your hips. Stretch your arms long. Take your forehead down. Take your arms down. Shift your hips side to side. Turn your head to the left. Let your shoulders relax. Take your forehead back to the floor. Start to pull the belt taut. Lift your arms. Keep pulling the belt taut, taking your shoulder blades towards your spine. Lift the belt as high off the floor as you can. And as you lift your head, bend your elbows towards your hips. Belt coming down to the middle of your spine. Keep your head lifted, straighten your arms. Lower your head. Lower your arms. Allow your elbows to relax on the floor. Turn your head to the right. Shift your hips side to side. And hopefully you felt a little action of all those muscles that we opened up with the scorpion moving side to side. Now engaging them. Those muscles align the sides of our spine. They make the back of our spine or the back of our core strong. They also move the shoulder blades in ways that we might be challenged. Take your forehead back to the floor. Straighten your elbows, pull your belt taut. Lift your arms off the floor. Lift your head and chest off the floor. Bend your elbows. Straighten your elbows. Bend your elbows. Straighten your elbows. Bend your elbows. Lift your legs. Keep pulling the belt taut. Keep breathing. Straighten your elbows. Lower your feet. Lower your head. Lower your arms. Release the belt. Stack your head on your hands and shift your hips side to side. Hands underneath your shoulders, press up through hands and knees. Take a few cycles of cat and cow. Maybe staying in that cat position for a couple of breaths to release that tension you just created. And then tuck the toes under, maybe having a block close by towards the front of your mat. And then come back into downward facing dog. Press down through your hands, twist thumbs towards first fingers, pinky edges towards your feet. Lift high up onto your toes, bend one knee and then the other. Lift up onto both toes, firm the fronts of the thighs, pressing the leg bones back as you lift and spread your sit bones. Lower heels towards the ground. Lift your armpits up into your armpits, if that makes sense. So almost as if you're trying to create a little hollow bowl with the armpits. Look between your hands and step your right foot up between your hands. Lower your left knee to the ground. Keep your left hand either on the block. Actually, let's put it on the block. So come to maybe the second level of your block. Take your right hand behind your head. Press the hand into the block and rotate elbow up towards the sky as you twist open to the right. As you exhale, twist, reaching elbow, right elbow towards left hand. So move from twist open to twist close. Allowing that feeling to resonate all the way up and down your spine. And if you bend the elbow to bring the elbow to the hand, that's fine. Next time you reach your elbow up, stay up. Reach the right hand up towards the sky. As if you're reaching something out of the hand, use that to lift your spine up, shoulders above your hips. Reach right hand as far back behind you as you can as you lift or reach left fingertips in the opposite direction. So keep reaching through both hands equally. Take your right hand towards your left heel. You can either bring it to touch your left thigh, calf, or heel. As you reach left arm up and back. Reach left arm forward, come back. Fingers reaching in opposite directions. And then both hands down on either side of your right foot. Step back into downward facing dog. And bend one knee and then the other. Lift up onto your toes, press thighs back. Lift and spread sit bones. As you take your heels towards the ground, keep lifting or hollowing out your armpits to make little bowls in your armpits. So instead of pressing the arm bones down towards the floor, creating like hardness in your armpit, can you soften the armpits by lifting the heads of your arm bones up? And look between your hands. Bring your left foot up between your hands, lowering your right knee to the ground. Switch the block to your right hand. Bring your left hand behind your head. Press down through your right hand, feeling the stability in your right shoulder. So instead of letting that shoulder collapse, push down to feel it stabilize. And rotate left elbow up towards the sky. And then twist, touching left forearm or wrist, or right forearm or wrist with left elbow. So moving here. Notice your tendency to collapse into your right shoulder. Can you keep the awareness of the hand pressing down into the block? And if you do allow that elbow to bend, can you keep the shoulder blades still moving down your back and on the outside of your rib cage? Next time you open up, stay open. Keep pressing down through your right hand. Stretch your left arm up as if you're reaching for something out of the sky. Come up and shifting right hip above right knee. Start to stretch left fingers behind you. Right fingers stretch evenly in the opposite direction. Notice tendency for shoulders to lift. Carol, bring that front arm down. So both arms are across, yep, and stretch. So you should feel that more in the mid spine. Pull a little bit more through the left hand, a little bit more through the right hand. And start to move as if you were going to reach your right heel, either taking your hand to your thigh, calf, or maybe to your right heel. Now reach. Right arm to left ear. And breathing. Reach up through the right. Come back to that center. Stretch the hands in opposite directions. And then right hand comes down. Left hand down. And come back again into downward facing dog. Hollowing out the armpits. Lift the upper arm bones away from the floor. Come down onto your knees, toes touch, knees wide. Child's pose, forehead on the floor. Allow the arms to come beside your legs, allowing your fingers to reach towards your toes as you soften the tops of your shoulders towards the floor. And breathe. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders, press up. Come onto a block. And in this position, you can either do it on your knees or you can just sit, easy sitting pose on a block. So whatever you prefer. Take the belt around your neck. Take the left side of your belt, cross it across to your right hip. Your right hand is going to grab the belt. The left hand is going to take the other side of your belt. You're going to place it right along the edge of your chin, of your jaw, so the belt. Inhale. As you exhale, pull the left hand out to the left as it gently stretches your neck to the left. Come back to center. Take it a little higher. So now it's on your cheekbone. Let it go off. Chin and forehead drop down towards the left shoulder. Tractioning the belt in both arms. Gently pull, then release. Gently pull, then release. Pull, and release. One more time. Hold, and breathe. Let it go and switch. So taking the right side of your belt towards your left hip. Grab the belt at your left hip with your left hand. Right hand grabs the belt, taking it in line first with your jaw line. Pulling both belts at both ends of the belts. Pulling the belt to the right. Create a slight stretch. Come back to center. And now take the belt to where it's going to actually sit on your cheekbone. And as you exhale, pull the belt to the right. And then each exhalation, pull both ends of the belt. Feeling a gentle tractioning as your head and your chin draw down towards your shoulder. Using your own breath as a guide. And the last time, just allow yourself to stay in this stretch position for several breaths. And release the belt, come back to center. Come back, eyes closed. Roll the shoulders 3 or 4 times, up, back, down, forward. And then switching directions. And then let it all go. Sliding your hands on your thighs where your elbows rest below your shoulders. Shoulders resting above your hips. And come back into that space from which we began. Noticing first the breath. Feeling that sense of every inch of the cells of your body being nourished and filled with each inhalation and softening with each exhalation. And start to sense your body, noticing how your body feels different than when you started. Maybe noticing the effects. I feel my shoulders kind of vibrate. I feel energy around my shoulder blades. I feel that they're resting, they're almost light. Feel that they're resting in a space that's in neutral rather than too far up or too far down. A natural sense of a broadening across the front of my collarbones. My neck is just like free, balanced on top of my shoulders with very little effort. And then move beyond what you feel in your body, allowing yourself to sense your surroundings with your eyes closed. Maybe you can still, in your mind, sense your room, your surroundings, picturing things that are around you, maybe even the spatial awareness of how far away they are from you. Noticing the sounds in the room. And still being present in the here and now. As we transition from our mat back to our evening, bring your hands to heart center. As you drop your chin towards your chest, and just allow yourself to sense your true self. And thank you so much. Namaste.